The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. I am Nick Eatman, and we are back here in Frisco, Texas, back at the Star. I am, at least, not everybody. A lot of people still there finishing training camp, and yes, I feel very fortunate to be one of the early ones to get to come back. Sorry, I had to. First day of school today, had to take the little ones there and fix do a few other things around, try to get a head start on the rest of the group, but I know that they're there holding it down in Oxnard, Chris Beam being one of them, and he's still working this show right now and helping. We got Paul and Matt in the back. Both of them are going to have a great show. Two people have already talked to them on the phone, so we're going to get right to it. We're not going to waste so much time. We know that there was a game. We'll talk about that. I'll throw my opinion out of what I saw and maybe what we didn't see in that game, and maybe any other storylines that we could talk about, because that's what we do here on Cowboys Storyline. All right. Let's start it off. Let's go to Michael in Bowling Green. Michael, what's up? Michael, you there? All right. Let's move it back. Let's see if we can start. We can go to the next caller. See if we can go to Chuck. Is Chuck on the line?
Yes, this is Chuck.
Hey Chuck, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Nick.
What do you got for me?
Hey, I got I want to say some positives about the game.
Okay.
I've been hearing more negatives than positives, but
there we go. Yeah, there were some positives, not a ton, but there were some for sure.
Yeah, I like seeing Phil Maffa run the ball.
Yep.
And I saw Mingo get open a few times, and that's some good young guys I'd like to see show some production. Yep. And let's not get too caught up into the first preseason game and tell everybody let's hit the brakes a little bit.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it's one of those things where I went back and looked at all the stats. I mean, the stats say that when, the Cowboys have had some successful years and did not win the preseason game, and some of them was a blowout. So, we got to take it for what it is and really take it for what it's not. And what it's not is something that matters to the big scope of things. So, but you wanted to see some better production, but for the most part, it really is meaningless, and I think.
Yes, I agree.
Well,
and,
keep going.
Just glad to have you back in Texas. That's another thing I wanted to say.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much. We'll get we'll make sure to get the phone number out here. I know that we have some confusion of which phone number to call. I know you obviously got the right one, so thank you, Chuck, for doing that and getting us started here.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good one. Okay. All right. Back here on, we'll keep talking more about it. I know we're kind of running through some technical issues here, but we'll get the phone line for you to see exactly which one it is. I know I'm getting some messages on that. It should be 888-855-2297, the one that it's always been. So I think that's what Chuck called, and we'll see if we can get some more on the line. Let's keep talking about the game and the things that he liked. Phil Maffa being one of them. Maffa, is a guy that I've said it many times on here that I think that he is going to have a successful preseason. I thought he ran the ball really well in the game. He wasn't the lead runner, and that we can talk about that here in a second. And Malik Davis and what a whirlwind it was for him to be signed and then play the very next day and play well. But I thought Maffa ran it really well. He's a strong runner, powerful runner, and I think that giving him opportunities with better blockers and better defenders, but still better blockers, I think that would be something that I would love to see. So I do believe that Maffa did a nice job there, and he mentioned Mingo. Mingo drew a couple of pass interference penalties. That's good. That's a start. You're getting open. Of course, no one remembers the play that Mingo actually drew the big pass interference because of the 15-yard penalty that CeeDee Lamb got for getting run over on the sidelines. What a weird play that was. And, we just got done talking about how last season had all these strange things that happened last season. And we were even just kind of joking around, like, what is it going to be? Well, CeeDee getting run over by the ref in the first game, the game is supposed to be keep your star players out of the action so they don't get hurt. And what happens? CeeDee probably took the biggest hit of them all. So overall, though, too early to get hit the panic button or anything like that. There's some things you want to see better, see them do better, and that could happen this week when they play Baltimore. All right, well, let's go to Chris in Saratoga Springs, New York. He's next. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Nick, it's my birthday today.
All right, happy birthday.
Yeah, big 5-0 today.
Oh, I'm not there. I'll be there soon, but I'm not there next. I'm not there yet, but you are. Congrats, man. You don't feel any different, do you?
No, not at all. Not at all. We're in the Outer Banks right now for our family vacation right now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
so I did watch the game.
Okay.
Couple of questions or concerns. Mozzie's got, I don't know, that boy got to step it up. He was getting pushed around like a rag doll.
Yep.
On that defensive line. I thought the rookie played better than he did, to be honest. The kid from
Toya. Yeah.
UCLA. Yeah. I thought he played well. He played better. He had a couple moments where he got pushed around a little bit, but he was much better in my eyes than Mozzie was. Mozzie's got to step it up. Like, I don't know what else to say on that.
Right.
I really liked. I did call Malik Davis getting in there last show, though. I did call him signing. I called it.
Yep.
He looked good.
What now?
I said he looked really good from coming off, not playing at all, getting right in there, running hard. I've always liked him. I'm glad he did well. I'm happy for him. Even if he doesn't make our team, I think that will put a good showcase on for another team as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what all happens at running back. He's probably I can't see a scenario where he makes the team.
Right.
Unless Jaden Blue just completely took over as the starter and then made some of the other guys expendable, but I just don't see that happening. So yeah, I don't see that happen because Maffa. I'd rather have Maffa than Malik Davis. As a younger back, and so.
Right.
But you're right, he did a nice job, and especially, that was one of the reasons. He wasn't the only available running back, but he was probably the most, available running back that can go in and play in 24 hours notice and play well because of the terminology and the scheme and all that. And he did give him a lot of credit for doing that.
And the last bright spot that I saw, Holden, Trayshawn, I love the way that kid plays and runs routes. I think he's having a good camp for him. I really hope he makes the team.
Yeah. Well, he has done a nice job, and he makes some plays here and there. Josh Kelly, number 6, made some plays as well. Chris, thanks for the call. Appreciate it, and happy birthday. Happy big 50 birthday 50. For you. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, have a good one. Trayshawn Holden, number 7, not probably not going to keep that number, I wouldn't think. If he does make the team, they're gonna have to move him from that. Assuming Diggs will be here like he's expected to be, and he should be coming back. I'm not sure if he'll get off of the PUP. I'm talking about Diggs. I'm not sure if he'll be off of the PUP list before the first 4 weeks. But it'll be interesting to see how that works because he's starting to turn the corner there. I say all that to talk about the other number 7 right now on the roster, Trayshawn Holden. And he comes over from Oregon, and his position coach is Junior Adams, who was a position coach, receiver coach at Oregon. So he was able to kind of he knows his coach really well, and the coach knows him and knows the best places to put him. Top line speed is going to be the issue if there is one with him, but some of the best receivers of all time figured out a way to get open and make plays, and so you don't have to necessarily be the burner. You have to be a guy that can get open. Jason Witten at a different position. Jason Witten did it for years. He wasn't super fast. He just figured out how to get open. There's Hall of Fame receivers that have done that, and I think that's one thing that Holden is getting better and better. And we saw the play. Made a nice play, good throw from Joe Milton, who I thought had a very up and down game, but he hit him down the sideline there, and that kind of led to a touchdown for Holden. So it'll be interesting to see how he keeps developing. Let's go to Brian in Kansas City. Brian, what's up, bud?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Great. Happy to be back here in Frisco.
Yeah, welcome home, man. I'm glad to see you got back okay and everything. You got the kids off to school okay?
Kids got off to school today, and they were ready to roll. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great.
Yep.
Hey, I got one comment, and then I got two roster questions.
Okay.
One comment is, man, congratulations to Malik Davis. Talk about a guy who just perseverance and opportunity meets preparedness, right?
Right.
That's a guy, he's probably not, I agree with you that he's probably not going to make our team, but boy, oh boy, did he make a statement for making a team somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, people watch those, and especially those preseason games, he looked like an NFL player playing against college players, which is pretty much what he was. You know, he's an NFL seasoned guy who was out there playing with against a bunch of people who may not make their team.
Let me say this real quick before you move to another point. He might not make this team. He might make the practice squad, and he'll make someone's practice squad for sure because of the way the rules are. What he showed was he stays ready, even without a team. He stays ready, and he was ready to go in there and play. That's exactly what you want your guy from the practice squad to be. There's going to be an injury on Thursday, injury on Friday. Who's going to run the ball for us? Who's going to play special teams as well? Perfect guy to throw in there. So I would be shocked if he's not on this practice squad because you've got some young backs in Maffa and Jaden Blue, and if they get banged up and can't play, I mean you have a chance to slide him in, elevate him for a game day at least 3 times. I could see him being, definitely in that role.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking is, wow, how prepared was that guy to walk in on one day's notice? And I don't care. I mean, I know he's playing against lesser competition, but, man, he looked like he was ready.
Oh, yeah.
And like you're saying, that's all you can ask for. So my roster questions are this. Based on what you saw, and obviously we have 2 more games, what do you think for backup quarterback, who would you make the number 2 right now based on what we've seen so far and might give you an opportunity, whether it's 1 game or 8 games, and maybe that's different answers, maybe developing somebody on 8 games and for 1 game you're putting in Will Greer because you think he gives you a chance. And then my other one is, for the 1 tech, I'm pretty convinced Mozzie's not making the team. He's not one of the 5 best defensive tackles on the team right now. So my thinking is they have to do something. What route do you think they'll take? Will they go after a veteran free agent like they've done in the past for years and years and years, or do you think they'll actually seek out a trade and get somebody that is a known commodity? And I'll hang up and listen to your answer, man. Right. Welcome home.
Thank you. Appreciate it. They did the same thing last year at defensive tackle. Late in training camp is when they made a trade for Jordan Phillips from the Giants, I believe, at the time. And I thought he was going to be I thought that was a good move. And I thought he was going to play more. And then he had a wrist injury. There were some thoughts that maybe it wasn't as bad as he thought it was. He didn't think he needed to go to IR. And then he ends up getting cut, picked up by the Bills. Here he is playing a big role for the Bills in the championship game last year. And you just think, man, it feels like he could have played here. And I hear it all the time. Well, it's a different scheme and all that. But a big football player that can clog up the middle and take up space and push the pile and make some plays. I think every scheme could use that guy. So I have a hard time thinking that he couldn't have fit that scheme. There was probably more to it than that. But that's the type of move I still think this team should make this year. Figure out a guy that has been productive, that is expendable to his team, and maybe throw a late round draft pick out there, or maybe you've got a player at a position. I mean, something's got to give at receiver here. This team has a lot of receivers and good receivers. And so you mentioned the last caller mentioned Trayshawn Holden. I mean, a guy like that, I'm not saying trade him. I'm saying if you feel good with what he can do, maybe you would want to trade a player that's on your team that's a veteran guy that can do some stuff. So, all right, and then the backup quarterback position, that is what it is right now. I mean, you could make the argument that maybe the backup's not here. They're going to give. That's one thing we've seen though. They're going to give these guys multiple chances to do it. And Joe Milton is this year's Trey Lance. I mean, he's going to get a lot of chances. He was going to play the whole game if he didn't get hurt, but he did get hurt, banged up his elbow, and Will Grier came in and did a nice job. We'll see if Will Grier is going to get more snaps now as well. Milton, though, he's a dynamic runner as a quarterback, and so that is always a good thing to have. And he's got a dynamic arm. Is it always accurate? No, it's not. And we've seen that in practice. We saw it in the game. He's got to work on the touch. He can fire it in there, but he still has to figure out how to get the ball up and over. And that's just playing football. That's being out there and doing it in the game. And yeah, you could say, but you do it in practice, but they don't get hit in practice. It's a different thing. Everybody knows it. The quarterback knows it. You're wearing that red jersey. You're not getting hit. So yeah, you can stand there and make a throw. But in the game, it's different. And we saw that for him. So I'm anxious to see what he does the second time around. All right. Phone lines look open here. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Let's take our first break here. We'll take our first break on Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. And we'll be right back after this.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The boys are back. See the Dallas Cowboys up close at training camp August 19th and 20th at the Star in Frisco. You can enjoy the open practices. Admission is free. Learn more at DallasCowboys.com/training camp. So that's right. See, just because training camp might end this week in Oxnard doesn't mean camp is officially over, and then fans that are out there in California have got a chance to see many of the practices, but they make sure and do it here. It's a couple of night practices there on August 19th and 20th. Always a good time to get the fans that are here in the local area and maybe around Texas that can make the drive up here and watch this team practice at night. It's always a good experience there. So all right, make sure and get a chance to do that. A lot of fun happening there. All right, we got a couple more callers already on the line. They've got the new number, which is really the old number, 888-855-2297. We're officially turning to that, and I'll get to the schedule as well as what we're doing here for the rest of this week, and we're going to gradually ramping it up to get to the 5 days a week, which I know a lot of you guys are excited for, including this guy. Rob in Vegas is next. Rob, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick, how's everything?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. We're talking about, obviously, the preseason game, and my takeaway is I only believe 50% of what comes out of camp. I heard Joe Milton look great. No. Joe Milton's a project. Like you said, he's this year's Trey Lance. He can't be the backup. You need the backup to hold down the fort. You know, you could say what you want about Cooper Rush, but he won games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need your backup to do. If God forbid Dak's out 4 games, can my backup win at least 2? You know, can he keep me, above water? And I don't think Milton he's not ready. You know, he passes the eye test, but that's about it. I was disappointed, but I was disappointed only because of what I heard in camp of Donovan Ezaraku. All I kept hearing is he can't be blocked, and he didn't get near the quarterback. and I'm not saying he didn't play good, but as a fan, I'm watching, number 41, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Didn't get near him, and that's because of what I heard during, camp. The team doesn't have much depth. Maffa stood out. Maffa looked good, but other than that, nobody really said, I didn't see anybody say, wow, that guy looks really good. And my biggest disappointment was in the head coach. When I hear culture change and I hear we're going to do things different and then we're going to be physical and you don't run the ball, you get penalties like crazy. Why didn't you play Booker, the rookie? This guy needs to be on the field. You should have played your left tackle way more. The man hasn't played in a couple of years. I know you're afraid of injury, but I'm sorry, this is football. These guys need to play. And I just did say now, maybe this game coming up. But my one question to you is, did you go to the Netflix party?
No, I was here. No, I didn't go to that. That was last night.
What about Chris?
I don't think. I mean, I know we had some people that went, but no, and Chris didn't go, and I didn't go either. So, because I was here, I'm all right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. But I have. Thanks for the call, Rob. We'll keep the lines open. Appreciate that, and I'll hit on some of the stuff that you talked about. Now, you did mention the Netflix the show that will air August 19th. I think it's America's Team, the Gambler and His Cowboys is what it's called, and I've got a chance to preview the whole thing. I haven't seen it all, but I have previewed about 4 episodes, maybe 5, and it's good. I mean, it's if you're a diehard Cowboy fan and you're kind of in my age group there, late 40s, 50s, I mean, you remember the 90s. It's really what it is. It's the Last Dance. This is the closest thing to the Last Dance. This is like, it's not just on Jerry, it's the 90s Cowboys. And so there's a lot of footage. I thought I'd seen just about all of this stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I hadn't seen before. They really, really did some digging. They got the stars to talk, and good backstories on some of those guys. I mean, there's a lot of things in there I'd never heard of before. I mean, to steal one thing, I never knew that Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman's relationship was actually like improved because of fish tanks, because Jimmy loved aquariums, and he helped Troy set up his aquarium at his house and would just go over there and watch the fish. And so I never knew that story, and then that's kind of cool. But because I knew there was some friction there early on in that relationship, and Jimmy was just hard on a lot of the players, including the quarterback. But anyways, but no, I wasn't there, but heard it was a good time, and obviously that'll be coming out here next week. As for the stuff Rob's talking about with the depth, that's lack of depth is a huge issue, and the Ezaraku thing is it's like anything you see in practice. If he's like, well, he can't be blocked. Well, is he a badass, or do you not have any offensive tackles that can block this rookie? And that might be where we are here, because the Rams, didn't seem to have a problem with him, and he's had some success. So it kind of goes back to, well, okay, it's just like with any coach you see, is if the offense is doing well, maybe they're good, maybe the defense has a problem. And so you want that balance. But again, it's too early for me to point any fingers about what Schottenheimer didn't do, and who played and who didn't play. There's a method to all of this, and let's see what happens. No one's going to worry about what happens in this first preseason game or really any of the preseason games, the goal is to get your team ready to play the Eagles. I mean, that's it. Number one, first and foremost. So does Tyler Booker need to play more to get ready for the Eagles? You can argue that. He's also a starter. He is a starter. There's no doubt about it. And Ezeraku played. I said this on the mailbag answer. Yes, Ezeraku played. But look at your pass rushers. It's going to be Micah, we think. It will be. Micah. It'll be, obviously, a Fowler, Sam Williams, Nealon, Peyton Turner maybe. Also Ezeraku. That's where he stands. And so that being said, yeah, go out there and play. We need you to play. Let's look at the guards. Tyler Smith. Tyler Booker. That's it. So he's your starter, and there's not a lot of options there other than that. I mean, yeah, you have some Hoffman and Bass and all that, but Booker's your guy. So I could see why they did that, but I think he needs to play this game. I mean, he definitely needs to play some snaps. He doesn't need to have his last game be at Alabama, and in a bowl game, or if he probably didn't even play. It probably was the Iron Bowl. And then fast forward, 9-10 months to play this game? Nah, he needs to play a little bit. So I agree with you there, but I'm not to the point of saying that was a bad decision here. We'll see. There's a method to it. Let's go to Michael in Bowling Green for our next caller.
Hey man,
how you doing?
I heard this is the only NFL radio show out of all 32 teams that you can call in and talk to the best sports writer in the entire NFL.
Okay, wow. All right.
But
checks
wasn't
in the
that
mail.
the award?
Where do I send the check to?
Wasn't that the award you just got? Best sports writer in the NFL?
And not in the NFL. Not in the
I thought it said NFL.
No, it did not say the NFL. Nowhere close to that. Thank you, though, for saying that. You know what? Details, yeah. Lone Star Conference, the NFL, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Something like that. All right. What do you got, man?
I want to know what your opinion is on this. I have heard that Shoddy is running this training camp and everything very, very physical. Something we hadn't seen in a while, this much physical. How much do you think that's going to help once the regular season starts to, because in past years, it seems like the Cowboys, it took them a little bit to get going. And it just seems like he's maybe trying to get them going now. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think there would be people that would argue that, because if they was really trying to get them going now, they would play a little bit more in the preseason or play it all. Because you see some other teams that are doing it that way. I don't see it being overly physical. I not really. I mean, all they say and yell, you hear it at every practice 30 times, 50 times, stay up, stay up, stay up. I mean, they make a huge emphasis on making sure no one gets hit, no one goes to the ground. So I can't say that I think it's any different as far as being physical. Now, seen some injuries, a little bit more injuries than we're used to seeing, especially early in camp. But I think if he was going to make a big statement there, they would play the guys a little bit more in the preseason, and maybe they will this week. I still doubt it. I haven't seen Dak play a preseason game since 2019. I don't think it changes this week, but that would be one way to say they're taking a stance on trying to kind of push this along further. But if they don't do that, then I can't sit here and tell you that I think it's been vastly different at all.
Okay. That's why I know you're inside, so that's why I'm asking. Just
not today,
Well,
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and I it's still, we still got 3-4 weeks to go before the first game, so he's got a plan in place here, and I'll be really curious to see who plays this game against Baltimore, because not only do I think it's the second game. I think it's one that they need to play, but especially if Baltimore is going to play some guys. If they're going to play some guys, what a great test this would be, because they have been the standard. They're probably one of the most consistent teams in the last decade, along with the Chiefs, of being there and being pretty good every year.
Yeah. Well, hey, we need to have a whole show on this Cowboys Jerry Jones show
Yeah.
After it's all out.
Well, there will be a document.
Sure.
I mean, there will be some podcasts on that. I don't believe I'll be involved in it, but I know that they're already setting up some people to come in and talk about it and talk about that era in the 90s and guys that lived it. So yeah, there will be a podcast on it. It won't be this one, but we can talk about it, of course. So you guys call in and give your opinions on things like that. Because I think it's been fascinating to watch so far. But there will be a dedicated podcast with some guests on it that you've heard of before. They got some big names, some heavy hitters on that one. So stay tuned for that. All right, Michael. Thank you for the call. Thanks for calling back. I know you called earlier. Thanks for calling back. All right.
Hey, yeah.
Let's keep it rolling here. Let's go from one caller to the next. How about Sergeant Sue in Fort Worth?
What's going on, brother?
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Just at work, man, back to the regular life. It's kind of different from being over there,
Of course. Of course.
Hey, man, so I've been trying to get in, pretty much the whole show, and then I was on hold for a while. So I apologize if I've touched on something that's been touched on. But I heard Coach Schotte's, press conference, and he basically talked about how he needs to learn Milton. He doesn't feel like he needs to learn Dak. He doesn't really feel like he needs to learn Will, but he feels like he still needs to learn Milton. And I guess my question to you is, I'll be quick. I guess my question to you is, at what point as a coaching staff do you say, like, yeah, I also need to learn, Flournoy. I also need to learn Brooks and Kelly and Mingo and these guys. And I feel like right now, at least from what I observed preseason week one, I don't feel like they really got an opportunity to be learned, to be seen just because of quarterback play. Obviously he missed some throws, and there's probably some throws that he could have made that he didn't trust his eyes on or whatever. And I know that they're going to develop him, but at what point, if any point, do they say, like, hey, Milton, we love you, man. You're going to be here. You're going to be our number 2 regardless, but we got to get some good looks for these wide receivers. So we'll let Will go. If you've already touched on that, I apologize, but that's just something that I wanted to get in on it and wonder, because like I said, I do feel like Milton's going to be 2 regardless, but at a certain point, you have a responsibility as a coaching staff to evaluate these wide receivers, and that's something that I touched on, whenever I was on the show with you. In case you haven't seen it, you guys go check it out. But yeah, man, I just wanted to see what you thought about that.
I appreciate the call, man. It's good to meet you last week in Oxnard, and I know that you had some good opinions there.
Yes, sir. Talk to you later, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. He's also a lookalike for The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson back in the day. So, anyways, that's not a bad thing. But no, I like what you're saying there, except for one thing. Like you said. The idea of, hey, Milton, we like you, but we've got to evaluate the receivers too, so we're going to put Greer in so we can evaluate the receivers. I don't have a problem with that if I'm Will Greer and I'm somebody, it's like, wait a second. So you're saying that I'm the better person to give these receivers a better evaluation. It means I'm throwing a better pass to them. Hello? Like... Why am I not the number 2 quarterback? And I think, you could argue that we're going to keep developing because there's a lot more, there's a lot more room for Joe Milton to really grow, and so I see that too. But I think if it's a night and day difference where Will Greer is a better option, then I think we need to look at maybe who the backup quarterback should be. I think Milton's going to play again. I think they're going to give him a lot more. I mean, he's going to play a lot more of this game, maybe even all of it. I think that's the plan, is keep throwing him out there, He needs more reps, and I think that's what we'll probably see. So, all right, let's take our break here on another break here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys. Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
This segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concession, and on Yeti.com. I don't have my Yeti with me here, the Cowboys Storyline one. Hopefully everybody's gotten theirs, the ones that made the all Storyline team and next year's team. I mean, people are already talking about it. I get the calls coming and going, oh, I'm going to be on it this year, or I got to keep my spot. And I'll say this. If you made it out to Oxnard, if you were one of those that made it, I mean, it's going to be hard not to be on the team. I can tell you that right there. I get to, I pick whoever I want on there. And if you go out there, it doesn't matter if you call a lot, don't call at all. Probably got yourself a spot there because what a commitment that was, and it was a great time, and it sounds like it went well for everybody. One of those people who organized it is on the line, so we'll go with her next. Irene, Falls Church, Virginia.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm going to echo everybody who called in who was on the trip. Thank you so much, you and Beam and Tommy and Kyle hanging out. I mean, honestly, didn't expect as much. I know you were talking about the show, but that first night I was like, man, he's here. He's gonna be here like half an hour and peace out, and the show's not gonna work out. And I'm a little on the anxious side, I guess. So, makes me a good planner. But man, I was really impressed that you not only did what you said you were gonna do, but just I feel like so much more. You spent a lot of time with us. You didn't have to do that. Please, I hope you do that in the future too. But that was really cool.
It was fun. It really was fun, and I hope you guys know that the appreciation that we have for this particular fan base that kind of create this show. The show doesn't happen without you guys, and I say it all the time, and I mean it, and so it was a lot of fun to kind of hang out for that day, and hopefully next year y'all get to do it again, and maybe more people will come, and that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'll be cool. We might need 2 houses next year.
Might need 2 houses, yeah.
There you go. Okay, so a couple things. I just heard your call talking about Milton. Yep, my guy. I said on our little road trip show that he throws a pretty ball, and I still believe his spiral is beautiful. But wow, he looked like he was playing darts out there. Yeah. I was like, okay, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll settle down a bit, and we'll see a little more from him because he does. He's raw, clearly, but he has talent, so we'll see. From practice before the game, because we didn't get to see Dak or Pickens, I just noticed he really, really trusts Pickens. Tighter windows than I feel like I've seen him throw even to CD. Doesn't mean he was throwing a CD too. Doesn't mean that he's CD's on the chopping block. But he really trusts, I guess, the catch radius and hands for Pickens. So that's nice to know that we'll have, another escape route. And, of course, he loves Fergie. So between the three of them, if the line can hold up, we'll see. My one question for you, looking at both practice and the game, trying to figure out if this is a camp body thing or if this guy has a chance of actually making the roster, not necessarily as really a wide receiver, but as a special teams guy. Josh Kelly got a lot more playing time in practice and in the game the game makes more sense because they didn't play starters, but I don't know. It just seems like there might be something there special teams wise. So I'll take that off there.
All right.
But thanks again. Take care.
Thanks, Irene. Appreciate that. A lot of good talk there about the receivers. And yes, I think Pickens is a guy that Dak trusts to throw the ball to because he does have that large catch radius, like you said. He makes plays on the ball, and he's one that he's a bad ball catcher. And I'm not saying Dak throws that. I'm saying just look at his career, Pittsburgh and all that. I mean, he's a guy that makes these crazy catches, and when you do that, it's because the ball's not always there, and you have to adjust your body and all that. And he does a really good job of doing that. He had a catch his rookie year that people at least debated that it was in the category of the Odell catch against the Cowboys. I don't know if I'll go there, mainly because the Odell's catch was a 45-yard bomb and the ball's coming down and he still caught it like with that much force of the ball. That pass wasn't as far, but it was still an unbelievable catch. I think they were playing Cleveland, maybe Cincinnati, one of those two. But he really made an outstanding catch. But yeah, I think when you make plays like that and you're not afraid to throw it in tight coverage because you think your guy's going to get it, and if he doesn't, he'll at least probably knock it down. So that he's going to fight for the football, and I think he shows that. As for Josh Kelly, he made a couple of nice plays. He's made some plays at training camp. Him and Holden are kind of right there, and that might be a practice squad type of thing. I don't know if he's done enough to actually make the team, but we'll see. And again, there's a lot of guys ahead of him that have played a lot of football. Turpin's going to be on the team. We know that. Turpin will probably be your third receiver as far as options go. I don't think he's wide receiver 3, but I think he stays in that third receiver role. And if somebody were to get hurt, one of the top 2 guys, knock on wood, but I think Tolbert or Mingo would probably go in and start, and I think Turpin just keeps that same spot there. But guys that were on the practice squad last year are Jalen Cropper and also Harmon, Kelvin Harmon. Harmon's been released. Cropper's still there, but they've been on the practice squad for a year or so. So that's where you kind of would see the development of Holden and maybe or Josh Kelly if that's where they can make it. Let's go to Dylan in Northport, Florida.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I think Michael's fighting for one of those captain spots with all that praise he's giving you.
He's working it. You know what I mean? We take bribes, we take gifts, we take we take all that stuff. Then again, right. I also take planning trips to go out for a whole group to go out there and spend your money. That's pretty good. That it's going to be hard to knock any of the captains off. But then again, just like any game, if I want to send all the captains out there for the coin toss, might send 10 guys out there. May send 1. We'll see.
Yeah, I was up against the class last week, so I didn't get to thank you for the good time out there. Honestly, shout out to Irene because I'm kind of an ideas guy. I'm like, it sounds like a good idea, but I'm not a planner. I don't get in the nitty gritty a lot of times. I'm like, just let me know how much I got to pay, where I got to be, and I'm good. And me. Thank God for Irene because without her, none of this would have happened. So shout out to Irene for sure.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Yeah, and it was fun out there, man. I really appreciate, the VIP tickets and, hanging out at the bars and stuff. That was a really great time. And Tommy's a funny guy, man. He's kind of a little ho-hum on the show over there, but man, in person, he's a hoot. I like Tommy a lot. He's a funny dude.
Well, you also got to remember what time of day and maybe what he was holding, in his hand while he was. No, I'm just kidding. He barely old enough to drink. You know what I mean? I don't think he was getting too crazy. No, he is a funny guy, and he's a great addition to our team. And he came out and he had a lot of fun. So did Kyle as well. At least that first night. So yeah, I was glad that more of the team could you guys could see all you guys, and you guys are a fan of StoryLine. There's no doubt about it. But you listen to all the other shows. You know all the other people, too. So it was cool to see that.
Well, I try to help out wherever I can, too. I know I'm one of the guys on your show here, but, Kyle was doing something with the pregame last year, and so I put that on our StoryLine page and sent a couple of videos. And I try to help you guys out on any of the podcasts, just wherever I can as a fan. So sure. I messaged him a little bit, and it was good to meet him in person. But, yeah, as far as the team goes, man, there's some negatives to talk about from this last game, especially like the defensive tackle position. But just to keep it positive, building on the receivers, it's crazy how this thing went from kind of panic mode just a couple months ago. Like, who's going to step up at wide receiver 2? We're kind of screwed there to, with that trade for Pickens. It's like 1 and 2 are locked in, man. They're big time players. And now it's like all the way down to wide receiver 6 is what you got to figure out. So my feeling is it's going to be Brooks because he brings you some special team value, like as a punt gunner. Gunner on the punt return team. But, Cropper can make a play. I really like Holden, and I think that if somebody does get cut and is at risk of being signed elsewhere, it might be Holden just because I think he has the best traits of all those wide receiver 6 guys. He's not fast, but he can make contested catches on balls. He's a good route runner. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. So he's the guy I'm nervous about losing. But, looking forward to these next couple of games, I'm really looking forward to seeing who steps up at that wide receiver 6 spot and claims it for their own.
Yeah, it's actually a fascinating position battle, and it's one that I wish there was more of those type of depth situations around the roster, because there is a lot of good options at wide receiver, and one where something's got to give, and maybe there'll be an injury. You hope not, but I think there's a trade opportunity there if the Cowboys want to get another position. Receiver might be where they have to go. So it'll be fun.
No
It'll
doubt.
be fun to watch that one. Well,
I'm looking to see, too, if they'll make a trade for defensive tackle, because that's a position of dire need. I don't know if people are talking about Tolbert being traded. I don't know if there's enough interest out there for Tolbert or not, or if the Cowboys are interested in moving on from him. But that's a position specifically I'm looking at, like, man, we need help, either a free agent or a trade. But with that said, brother, I'll catch you later. Thanks.
Appreciate the call, Dylan. Always good to hear from him. One of the captains on our Storyline team, and one of the reasons they put that Storyline Spaces together on Twitter, and the whole group went out to California. All right, Mike in England is next. Birmingham, England. Mike, you'll be our last caller. What's up?
Oh, what an honor. Hello, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, thank you. Yeah, we're having a bit of a Texas day over here. It's 33 degrees. What's that, like 90 in American, something like that. So we're not used to that. We don't cope well. So as I'm last, I'll just go quick with my question. It's about the RB room. So apologies if I'm treading on ground you've covered, but of all the positions, the running back position to me seems to be the least kind of set, where every roster spot still seems to me to be up to grabs. So I suppose my question is there anyone who you think is, assured of their space at RB, and is there still a chance for everyone else? I thought Maffa looked pretty good. I think it looks tough for Deuce now. Sorry, Dylan. Is Javonte Williams assured? Is he kind of RB1, or is it all kind of completely open? What's your thoughts?
That is a very good point, and I agree with you on that. And it doesn't mean it's it's a great problem to have. It's really not. But I do believe that the only guy that I think, okay, for sure, 100%, you're on the team is Jaden Blue. I just think, even as a fifth-round pick, fifth-round picks don't always make the team, but he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. He's quick. He's super fast. He catches the ball, and he has the potential to be a really good player for your team. He's making the team. Other than that, I mean, nothing is open. I mean, it's all open, and nothing is secured. I would think Javonte Williams is making the team. It's not a lot of money that he's making, $3 million or so, and he's done a nice job. He hasn't played in a game, but I think he's going to make it. Miles Sanders, I'm not sure. He got hurt. He got banged up. I don't know if they keep both those guys. I think what happens with Phil Maffa is going to affect keeping two veterans. If Maffa doesn't really turn that corner, then I think you keep the two veterans, you keep Blue, and maybe Maffa could be practice squad or fourth guy. But if Maffa does turn the corner with Blue, then I think you only keep one of the veterans. And right now, I think Javonte Williams would be in the lead. So that's how I see that position.
Thank you.
All right. You got anything else? We're about to wrap this show up.
Yeah, no, that's all. Just say it was brilliant to see the guys on the show last week. Was it? I felt strangely emotional seeing everyone there. So it was just really nice to see you all getting together out there. So well done for putting that on.
All right. Well, I know that a lot of you guys had never really seen what do they look like? What are these? Let me see these faces. And so it was really cool to do. And once they got on there and started talking, it's like, yeah, that I've seen. I've heard that before. So it was really familiar. I thought the show went really well, and it wasn't organized at all, planned. I could have done a better job, but I don't think you could really tell. It was seamless. We did a really nice job with it, and they shined. They get them on the stage. Doesn't matter if they're on the phone or on the set. They were great. So that was a lot of fun. All right.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. And when I saw that it was only 29 minutes long, I thought that Rob must not have been on it. But nice one, Rob, in letting everyone else have their moment. So yeah, really good job, everyone.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, Rob can share the ball. I mean, he did. Nobody kind of overpowered it there. That was a lot of fun. All right. Thank you for the call. And that'll wrap us up for all of the calls here today. A lot of good work. I know there's everyone has their opinion about the game, but still a little early to kind of figure out exactly what we saw and what it means. That's the biggest thing. What does it mean? What does it mean to the games that really count? And I don't know if it means a lot, but you like anything, you want them to play better, and I think they're hoping for a better showing, of course, against Baltimore this week coming up. All right. That will do it for the calls. We got Chris Beam still in the back. Still back in California, and he's doing a great job there helping communicate with me. And then in the back here, Paul and Matt. Really, really awesome job. Thanks, guys. I know we got to get out of here. Got to get to lunch, so we got to cut this thing off. But we're going to be back tomorrow. We're doing this thing tomorrow again, same time at 12 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock out Pacific. We'll be doing it again. So for Chris and Paul and Matt, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you next time on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!